Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Let's face it, you bout to get a beat down. Less talking, let's take it to the streets now. Ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight? Touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin'. Go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got all night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros. It's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for a special Shoe Shine Sports. All the way from the city of brotherly love, my co-host, Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie?
Pepsi.
Pepsi, you came back from surgery, you're drinking soda? Well, that's all right, man. That's all right.
Happy, right?
You know what? Yeah, the hell with that, man. Because I will do a super chat for a super shot. If you guys do a super chat today, I will do a super shot of tequila with my commemorative. I only do this on victory days. That's right, my 49er shot glass. A shot for a super chat. Saludos, everybody joining us out there in the YouTube land. Yes, your boy Dave. Drew, what a weekend, huh? What a weekend. What a weekend for sports, for NFL fans, for some people. You know, I just was just done talking with Johnny Savage via IG. Johnny Savage hasn't been on here in a minute, you know, but he didn't take the Jaguars' defeat too well. It's not easy. I understand it. It was a fantastic season for Jaguar fans. They did beat my team, the 49ers, convincingly, and they came damn close to winning that game. In fact, I'd say that the first 4 games were extremely competitive and entertaining to watch, but none better, in my opinion, Drew, none better than our game. None better than the 49ers versus the Eagles. Because check this out. Wait a minute. I had this picture to share. This is a great stat right here, Drew. Take a look at this. 41 million viewers, most watched telecast of the weekend. That's right. We were number 1, Drew. What's up? What's up, Crypto Hippie NFT? Glad to see you in the chat. I'm not sure. I keep forgetting if you're a Packers fan or a Bears fan, but I do remember you telling me not to sleep on either of them, and they both made the playoffs and had a brilliant, entertaining game. Shout out to Caleb Williams for another come-from-behind victory. Just phenomenal. I mean, just a few weeks ago, the Niners went toe-to-toe with them and produced over 80 points. But Drew, 41 million viewers, most watched telecast of the weekend. Of all the games, Fox's most watched NFL wildcard game since 2015. Most watched NFL wildcard game on any network since 2022. Peak viewership at 47 million. Wow. What were your thoughts on the game, man? How are you feeling afterwards? It was a shock to me. I'll tell you that, man. Shock to me as a Niner fan that we came away with the victory.
What happened? What happened all year? Good first half. No adjustments made by the offensive coordinator. And he gasses the defense again. And he has no creativity, no adjustment whatsoever. And this was the game 2 games before this game. He was at a press conference. He was asked about something, about a running play. I just ran that play because just to want it. I feel like I just ran it to want it. A stupid answer. And then at the last press conference of the year when we lost, after we lost, they asked him something, what went wrong. He was like, I don't know. Now, does that sound like somebody that knows what they're doing at their job? No, let's look at it this. The final play of the game, 4th and 11. You have an opportunity to get a first down. Now, I'll get to the other point later in a minute. But you see them during the timeout, during the count play. Jalen Hurts is looking at Nick Sirianni. Then he's looking at Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator. Then he says a play. Jalen Hurts has that look on his face, and you can read his lips. It's like this. What the hell? And then he looked, he's like this. All right, whatever. It winds up being the 49ers are running a cover 4 defense. Cover 4 defense, and Patullo calls a 4 verticals. And then you look at the stats and you look at the game mostly. Dropbacks, too many dropbacks. All this dude was calling was hitch routes. And the Niners were playing zone most of the game. The middle of the field was open. And instead of attacking the middle, you tell your quarterback to throw 5-yard passes to the side. And then he said that, and then thank you God they fired him today.
They fired
thank
who?
You God, they fired the offensive coordinator today.
Did I miss that? Well, listen, I got something to share with you because I believe I may have found Junior Drew of the.
Now here's the thing. They said there's a chance that he'll be back on the staff as something else, but he is no longer the offensive coordinator. They're going to get an experienced offensive coordinator to replace him. But here's the Richard Sherman, which he did play for the Niners. He played for the Seattle Seahawks. He was part of Legion of Boom.
Yeah, great channel on YouTube.
Prime now. He's on Prime now as a one of those guys now. Was on Nick Foles' podcast, Super Bowl MVP of the Eagles when they won it in 2017. And he said one of his co-hosts, Ryan Fitzpatrick, is really good friends with Kevin Patullo. And he was told that Ken Patullo told him that I don't know why I was fired. None of this is my fault. And to figure out this is mostly all your fault. But you want to know who else is to blame mostly? The head coach, Nick Sirianni, because during the bye week, you could have relieved him then. But
okay.
This is your offense. So you want that? Oh, it's going for a fluke. Now you at send, and it's going to go like this. Jalen Hurts was asked, do you want Kevin Patullo back? He's like this. It's too soon for that. I trust in Cowie. I trust in Nick Sirianni, and I trust in Mr. Lurie, Jeffrey Lurie, this is the owner. I trust in them. Which means he don't want him back. None of these guys want him back. He was not. Some people have it, the knack of calling a game. Some people don't. He by far does not have it. He's clueless. But look at it like this. There are so many good names out there, and one of them, we're going to get one of them. But I look at it like this. Nick Sirianni is probably going to get told you are no longer allowed to pick your coordinators.
Okay.
Because the two that you picked are first-time coordinators, and they were disaster. So let's look at it like this. Let's look at the pattern. First season, okay, that was the first season in Nick Sirianni. They started 2-5. They made the playoffs 9-8. Lost in the first round. That was expected. Next season, Shane Steichen is the play caller. They make the Super Bowl. They lose the Super Bowl. Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon both got head coaching jobs. Who you hire as an offensive coordinator? First-time offensive coordinator, Brian Johnson. Yeah, 8th best the 10th best offense in the league, 8th best rush offense, 19th pass the offense. You guys finished 11-6. Had that collapse because you had the last ranked defense was Sean Desai, and I think he was a leave in the middle of the season. And then you finally got Vic Fangio, and this is Vic saying this is probably going to be his last stop. He's probably going to retire after the Eagles job, and then they hired Kellen Moore, former Chargers, former Dallas coordinator. Now he's a Saints head coach. They win the Super Bowl. They go back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Then this year, you hire first-time head coordinator Kevin Patullo. You promote it within. Fangio's still there. Your offense is a problem all year long. Fangio, the pieces fell into place. He had a better defense. He had better defense, one of the best defense at the end of the season. It's a disaster for the offense. Offense did not look nothing. They lose in the division. They lose in the wild card round. What's that a pattern? The next season, they'll get an experienced offense coordinator. They make the Super Bowl again. Because of that. Because here's the thing. When you pay, the one reason why he deserved to get fired most is because that is the highest paid offense in the NFL. And you did not know how to coach the call plays for that offense. And you compromised that offense. You deserve to get fired. It is all your fault. And it's also Nick Sirianni's fault for not firing you any sooner. So I'm going to look at it like this. The names on there, and I heard two names that I'm very surprised at. John Gruden, an NFL quarterback winner, and the quarterback of the greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner.
Let's take a listen, Drew. If you got to say, let's say salute to everybody new in the chat. BGL Last Man. If I got that right, that S is Spider 14. He says bang bang vatos, and of course, shout out to 702 Man Cave. Junior Drew, that's what I'm calling him. Junior Drew. He made himself a little splash on ABC News. Drew. I think he shares a lot of your sentiments here.
This was a huge letdown. This was my Christmas present, and I got a loss.
Oh no! You probably would have rather had Cole, huh?
Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want AJ Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, AJ, but you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Wow.
Whenever he's an offensive coordinator, it's like he's flipping burgers. One side he's cooking, one half he's cooking, and the other half is completely raw.
One side he's kicking, the other side he's completely raw. Junior Drew on ABC. I call him Junior Drew. He don't like Kevin Patullo. He thinks he should be flipping burgers, Drew. And that's exactly what happened. I had no idea. The other big news of coaches being canned or fired, or in this case, Steelers coach, he up and quit. Mike Tomlin stepped aside today. He says he's going to be moving on. Were you shocked at that, Drew? Steelers, the finale to that was so bad. The Texans whooped the Niners. The Texans, the Seahawks, amazing defenses. What are your thoughts on that?
They scored 23 points in 5 minutes.
I saw the finale. It was 7-6.
Okay, to the dude saying Eagles fans are so ungrateful. Here's the thing, man. You just got started winning. You probably should have been out last week because, tell you the truth, you're gonna get your asses kicked by the Rams this week. Caleb Williams is gonna do Caleb Williams things, turn the ball over as usual, and then you guys next year are probably gonna be mediocre. So be happy with this year, man.
The 49ers went to the Super Bowl. We didn't win the Super Bowl, but we after the Chiefs, the latest appearance in the Super Bowl, we were awful. It's it happens to teams afterwards. It's a setback. But I'm glad you brought up this Chicago game, Drew, because I wasn't ready to talk about our picks, but why not, guys? The divisional rounds are here. The 49ers advance. The NFC, fantastic. This is amazing. 49ers, Rams, Seahawks are 40-7 versus everyone else this year. 49ers had a remarkable game against Caleb Williams. They threw up like 80 points combined or more just 2 weeks ago. But Drew, here's a very startling stat regarding Matthew Stafford, who was having an MVP type season. Matthew Stafford, where is this? He plays absolutely dreadful in the snow, in cold weather, in wet weather. Something like, I'm looking for this, Drew, but something like 1-9, but I'm going to get the exact stat. 1-9. How do they have the Rams as the favorite this week? Because I've seen Matthew Stafford choke. Now, it doesn't happen often, but he has been upset recently. They do have probably one of the most electrifying offenses, but statistically, he's really bad in cold weather.
I'm going to tell you why the favorite. Number one, Chicago ranks 28th overall in total defense. Yeah, they lead the league in takeaways and everything, but you can move the ball in Chicago. And I really think that the pass at Nakua, nobody's going to be able to cover Nakua on that field.
Nah, you're right about that.
And then you got Devontae Adams and everything. So you got a lot of problems. Chicago's going to have to deal with a lot of scheming up. They're going to have to scheme up a lot. Do I think it's going to have – I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago gets blown out in this game. But,
come on, man.
Now here's the thing. The only issue with the Rams is their defense, is their secondary. Their secondary is very suspect, and that's right. Caleb Williams has to explore that. But they also have to be balanced at the same time. And I expect Caleb Williams to throw an interception or two. Like I was right when I said Brock Purdy was going to throw 2 interceptions at this game, and he did.
You were right about that. The Purdy does not do well with a pass rush, and you're right. He threw 2 picks, and luckily it wasn't for. Luckily it wasn't exactly, and that's why it's going to be incredibly hard. Everything is stacked against us this weekend. 49ers 6 days rest, I may add. But going back to Matthew Stafford, here's his stats in the past 10 games outdoors in rain or snow. He has a 1-9 record, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 11 interceptions. Rams' last 10 games in Chicago are 2-8. Current weather forecast for Sunday afternoon in Chicago, 20 degrees, 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and a 55% chance of snow. I'm going to say it right now, Drew. I'm calling for the upset. I'm calling for the Bears to beat the number 5 seed in a remarkably, incredibly entertaining game.
I'm picking the Rams. I think the Rams are underweight. I think Matthew Stafford, if you saw him against the Eagles last year in the snow, it was a very entertaining game. He almost could have won that game for the Rams. I think the Rams are going to win this game. I think the Rams' defensive line is going to get to Caleb Williams and make him make a lot of mistakes. I think the Rams' defense is going to at least have 3 sacks in this game and force a turnover. I think Matthew Stafford is going to throw for 4 touchdowns in this game. He's going to pick this defense apart. I really think that if you look at it like this, I really think that the score is going to be 38-17 Rams.
Drew, if you are the type of person to bet over or under 48.5 points, it is going to be well over 48.5 points. You look at the offense of the 49ers when they were red hot. Combined together, they scored far above nearly 80 points. This is not a good under 48.5 points. No, definitely take the over 48.5 points. The Rams straight money line, -198 favorites, plus 164 on DraftKings for the Chicago Bears. But even then, I'm going with the underdog. Why is the Steelers even on there? Let's take a look at this. Oh, shoot, this one's not right. That's funny. Oh, I think they meant to say they didn't. When Sports Illustrated put this out, they had no idea who the winner of the Texas game was. And we all saw how that unfolded. It was a pathetic performance by the Steelers at the end. Kind of a sad way for Aaron Rodgers, someone that I've followed his entire career since Cal Berkeley. Kind of a sad way to go out if indeed at 42 years old, this is his final game. Nonetheless, let's move on to the NFC. Like I just said, let's talk about this NFC West game. And I think I know how you're going to pronounce this one. I said it again here. 49ers, Rams, Seahawks are 40-7 versus everyone else this year. We just saw the Seahawks take the number 1 seed against the 49ers just 2 weeks ago. They're on 2 weeks rest. 49ers lost George Kittle, team captain, now down all their captains. But they had the assistance of Kendricks. We got some new players on defense, and boy, did they make a difference. They were not there in that Seattle Seahawks game. We held them to 13 points. One of the hottest offenses in the entire, if not the hottest offense. Number 1 defense. And we held them to 13 points, the entire team. Could there be an upset? Could there be an upset this weekend in Seattle? How many times has Purdy done it? We are 1-1 this season. Drew, what is your prediction, 49ers? By the way, it's a Saturday game in the evening, prime time. At least the 49ers are playing in the evening. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm going 24-13 Seattle.
Let's look at the numbers here. A plus 280 underdog for the 49ers. The spread is 7.5 points. Underdog for the 49ers. Negative 355 on the money line. It's straight up, man. They are a sizable underdog right there. The 49ers now have the most playoff wins in NFL history, 40 wins. And I get it, man. We weren't the most hated. And this is probably why. How many Lombardi rings? Most hated. So Drew, over 44.5 points. I didn't get your final score prediction on this, but it's pretty good.
24-13 Seattle.
24-13. I'm feeling Drew. I'm feeling it could be either way. That definitely it's going to be under 44.5 points. I will not be surprised if both defenses ball out. I don't know, man. I'm feeling it. The 49ers have been here before, Drew, as recently as 2021, coming in as the number 6 seed and making it to the NFC Championship game. Number 1 defense for Seattle. Number 2 offense for the 49ers. I smell an upset. I could be brutally wrong, but I smell an upset. 49ers. I won't do a final score, Drew, but I think we covered the spread. Shout out to Joe Biconi, if that's how I pronounce your name. Shout out to him. He says New York Giants was the best in 2011. Speaking of wild card games, the 49ers and the New York Giants had one of the most electrifying games. Let's go back to 2003. 2003, Terrell Owens was a star. Jeff Garcia, San Jose State alum. And they did the unthinkable, coming back in the wild card. And they basically, Drew, that's what happened this weekend, man. We had a repeat. And because of that, I'm going with the 49ers. Enough of that. All right. Shout out to all my Niner fans. Bang, bang, Niner again. I think we're going to have an upset. But let's move on to the AFC, Drew. Or did we do the Rams games? Rams, Bears? Said Bears.
Somebody made Dave take a shot.
Yeah, let's do a shot. Super chat. Any super chat. 99 cents will get you. I'll do a shot of tequila, man. I need to calm down, man. Let's talk about the Bills versus the Broncos, Drew. I'm telling you, Johnny Savage was heartbroken, man. I'm telling you. I think he needs some therapy because the Jaguars, they lost a brutal game at the very end there to Josh Allen. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that game?
I think the final play of the game, it should have been called pass interference. He literally wrapped his arm around him. That's a pass interference. Here's the thing. They missed a lot of calls in all these games this weekend. You had Jahad Dotson in the end zone being wrapped around by that Niners defender in the end zone, and there was no call on that. That's a pass interference. I just didn't understand. I just didn't understand that one. I'm like, I know you're trying to be and just show that you're not because you're from PA and everything, but you gotta at least fucking give some calls out and everything. That's what I didn't like. One thing I did not like. But at the end of the Jaguars game, man, I just did not see that was a pass interference in the middle on Jacoby Myers.
Oh, damn, bro. You about to see my face turn red. Oh, snap. Shout out to Crypto. He says his $10 get 2 shots. Oh, snap. Oh, here we go. Drew, keep cooking. I'm going to pour these shots.
So, like, you look at it, it's just something that the league's got to do better. And I think that, like, when they put Elgin down the field, Elgin downfield, and they overturned it with replay assistance with Cam Jordan, and that touchdown for Gatto counted, I think they have to have something. Here's the thing. The new rule in the NFL, you should be allowed to get 3 challenges, and if you get all 3 of them right, you get a 4th one. And you should be able to challenge penalties. Like when it's pass interference, holding, and everything. I think they should be I think there should be challengeable plays.
I agree with you, Drew. I agree. But let's look at these weird odds. -108 favorite for Buffalo Bills. Then it says -112. That's money line. I don't understand that at all. Plus 1.5 spread for Buffalo Bills. Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, sophomore season against Josh Allen, one of the best seasoned veterans. Is this the year for the Buffalo Bills, considering the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs?
I think the Bills are going to win this. I think that the Broncos are a fake number 1 seed.
Okay, I asked you numerous times this year, are the Broncos the most overhyped team? They've come from behind so many times, but you can never count out the veteran and the experience, Drew. This is a really close call. But I happen to agree with you, man. I think that the Broncos of luck is going to run out potentially this weekend because of that veteran experience. It's the same way Sam Darnold from the Seattle Seahawks. He's a great player. Like I mentioned, Jeff Garcia for the 49ers, the kind of guy to take you to the playoffs, but not take you to the big game. I don't think Bo Nix is ready. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills too, Drew. Buffalo Bills.
I'm going 35-17.
Yeah, Crypto Hippie NFT says Packers would have been challenging the officiating all year. Parsons had a hole 1 holding call. Moving on to the last game. We're going to do some boxing talk too, guys. If you like the sport of boxing, hang tight. We're going to cover some of the newest and latest news in the boxing scene. I live here in Las Vegas, and boxing is heating up, and quickly too. In the last game, Drew, the Texans, what a top defense they have. Like you said, how many plays did they convert? How many turnovers did they force on the Steelers? Against a red-hot Patriots team. Are the Patriots equally, in your opinion, overhyped like the Broncos? Or are they the real deal? Are they going to the AFC Championship?
Nah, I think the Patriots are going to win this game. It's going to be close, but I think the Patriots are going to win this 20-17.
They are -170 favorite, plus 142 underdog for the Houston Texans. I don't trust CJ Stroud. I don't trust him. Yeah, they got a remarkable defense, but when it comes time, when it's clutch time, he just doesn't put the points on the board. And I don't think he's going to do it against the New England Patriots. I agree with you on this one too. So it looks like we got our AFC games we agree on completely, and in the NFC, we don't agree, which is interesting. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Any other thoughts, Drew, on divisional rounds?
Nah, I look at it, man. I'm just looking at how these head coaching vacancy jobs are gonna fill out. Like, I'm gonna call it, man. I am, because the way that it's been playing, that as like the pattern and everything. I thought, okay, we take this as a down year for the Eagles, but I'm gonna look at it like this. The Eagles are going to at least make the NFC Championship game next year.
Oh, at least I totally agree with you. You guys just got to retool. You guys have a team that's competitive for the next 3 to 5 years still. You guys have a very young team, so you know what I mean? I got to say this, Drew. Let me just play really quickly. Do I have any clips? You know, it was reported on Twitter that Eagles fans were completely nasty to the 49er fans. But I watch a YouTuber, and I'm going to give a shout out to him, the Philly Captain. Philly Captain vlogged his entire experience at the wild card game against the 49ers. And everybody after the game seemed, cool. It wasn't like it was said. I do want to share this, man. I do want to share this highlight because it's regarding the 49ers. I still got to play this clip, man. This was unbelievable. This was unbelievable, Drew. But Juwan Jennings, pretty much our wide receiver number one, he was a top quarterback in high school. I think he was like a highly recruited quarterback. A lot of guys don't convert to state quarterbacks. He's now a wide receiver in the NFL. But what a pass. What a trick play from Shanahan here to Christian McCaffrey. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe that pass Juwan Jennings did, man. Unbelievable. So, yeah, I give credit to your Eagles fans. I seen that they were throwing beer at the Niner fans and all this, but the Niner fans were disrespectful again, desecrating the Rocky statue. I wasn't down. I wasn't too pleased with that, man. But shout out to the Philly Captain. If you guys want to see what the Niners game versus the Eagles game was in person, watch him on YouTube, man, because he blocked it.
Let me ask you something, Dave. What do Cowboys fans say every year?
I guess next year. They say next year.
What do they say next year? We're going to win the Super Bowl next year. We're going to win the Super Bowl next year. That's all they say every year. They say we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. And what this Cowboys fan does say, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Man, so, Jerry Jones. He can make it happen, man. You never know.
And watch this dude gets disappointed year after year. My man, please don't put yourself on watch every year, man, because I don't want to have people watching you after the Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe so, Drew, but you got to give them credit, man. How many Lombardi rings do the Cowboys have?
Yeah, when was the last one they had when VHS was out?
Hey, let's talk about quickly. We're going to pivot. There was an amazing boxing championship matchup this weekend that almost nobody saw. I saw the pay-per-view numbers were absolutely horrible, but the fight, if you can watch it on YouTube or Daily Motion, go out and watch Dalton Smith, who, like the 49ers, went into enemy turf. He crossed the ocean from the UK and beat Subriel Matias, Puerto Rican star, in the Barclays Center's Brooklyn, New York this weekend. Unbelievable 5 rounds of action, guys. He is now the WBC 140-pound champion in the most deep and talented division in boxing there is, a division that's going to feature, he's going to feature Shakur Stevenson at the end of the month versus Teofimo Lopez. You have Richardson Hitchens, who's also a Matchroom boxing champion. I think that's the most logical fight for this UK fighter. But what is his name? Adam Azim from the UK, a top new contender. He could have an excellent matchup with him at some point. This is just a red hot division, guys, where most of the talent's at 140. Most of the talent is not at 147 like it used to be. But because Drew is from Philly, let's talk about the matchup that is not happening, Drew. Let's talk about this matchup. Let's hear why Oscar De La Hoya yesterday. And if you are interested, Golden Boy Boxing has not re-signed with DAZN, Drew. I'm going to play what he said yesterday. Because negotiations for this fight between Boots Ennis of Philadelphia and Vergil Ortiz of Golden Boy Boxing have completely stalled. And now the latest as of today is that they are moving on. Does that mean that DAZN will be moving on from Golden Boy, who they have not re-signed to be part of their television network deal? Let's hear what Oscar said yesterday.
All that's left to be sorted out for the first quarter of 26 is who Vergil's next opponent will be. I said 3 days ago that I'll sign immediately for a 60-40 fight with Boots with 5% to the winner, which is fucking crazy, Jen.
60-40 in his fighter's favor with a 5% bonus to the winner. What does the Philly Irish have to say about that? 60-40 in favor of his fighter.
Well, when Vergil's team negotiated with Boots and them, they agreed on a 50-50 split with 5% extra to the winner. And here's the thing. Oscar De La Hoya is delusional. He's trying to make sure the fight doesn't happen. He's trying to protect his investment because likely it's his only star left. And I think he's trying to price the fight out. Look at it like this. When he fought Sergey Bobachek, he only had 10,000 people in that arena watching that fight. When Boots fought David Adelicia, he sold almost 15,000 tickets. He has almost sold out a 20,000 person arena twice in Philly, Boots. Boots is the bigger draw. If you're going to do a 60-40 split, it makes more sense that Boots gets the 60%. But Eddie Hearn said, we agreed to a 50-50 split with the extra 5% going to the winner, which I think is reasonable. And Oscar didn't say the one thing that the fight was good. He wants to fight in Texas. No, the fight needs to be in a neutral ground, which is Vegas or Florida.
And by the way, they have March. A date is available in March. They just have to sign. They thought when they stepped into the ring in December, Drew, they thought this fight would already have materialized, which is why they have a venue available in Las Vegas, MGM Grand, in March. They just have to sign on the dotted line.
He doesn't want this fight to happen, Oscar. Oscar is trying to protect his investment. And if he was going to cash out, he would take the 60-40 split. But Oscar does not want this fight to happen. He's not confident that Vergil Ortiz can win this fight. That is what he's telling you.
It kind of feels like that. I agree with you, Drew. It kind of feels like that. This is from his promoter. Let me say this. Go ahead, Drew.
He's also bashed Vergil Ortiz's manager.
Yeah, and right here is a statement from Rick Murray again. He responded. He says, quote, "We are not moving on. We never even participated in this negotiation, and it's our contractual right to, but we will now. We will now what? We will now. But according to Oscar De La Hoya, again, this is from BoxingScene.com. You just heard it out of his mouth right there, the video clip. We're moving on. The promoter, which is Oscar De La Hoya, Rick is the manager. Oscar says we are moving on. But why does he say he's moving on? I won't play the rest of the clip. He says, quote, Boots is interchangeable with Fundora and Errol Spence. He needs this fight with Vergil far more than we do. Okay, he's saying Boots is a nobody. Boots doesn't have the ranking. He doesn't have a title. He said Fundora is an equally better match. Fundora has a title. Errol Spence is, I guess in Oscar De La Hoya's eyes, Errol Spence is still a draw, still a star.
Here's a question for you. Who are both those fighters signed to, Dave?
PBC. And PBC and Oscar are awfully chummy again.
And here's the thing. Who doesn't have a deal right now for a network?
Man, if Oscar doesn't listen, DAZN, apparently they're not happy at all with Oscar. And, I don't want to see Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy and their stable of fighters end up in the same predicament that Top Rank Boxing is in right now without a television deal. I would hate to see both of these giants promoters in boxing, American promoters in boxing, not have a television deal. I wanted to give a shout out to D Calico. Says 50-50 with 75% to the winner. I was talking earlier with somebody and I said, I like 50-50, 10 or 15% bonus to the winner. Because that amounts to about a 65-35 split.
Let's ask Santino Media because he wants to say, then here's the thing, Santino. He is scared. Because here's the thing right now. If Eddie Hearn and Vergil's manager agreed to a 50-50 split with 5% to the winner, why is Oscar stopping it? Oscar is not confident. Oscar is telling everybody, and he's not backing off a 60-40 in Texas, that he is not confident in his fighter beating Boots Ennis. Because if he was confident, he would have said, all right, let's make the fight at 50-50 with 5% to the extra winner. And here's the thing, and this is what I heard today. I talked to somebody today. Vergil Ortiz's manager is rumored to go loyal up to get out of the Golden Boy, to get Vergil out of his Golden Boy contract, so he can make the fight with Boots Ennis.
Really? Well, I'm giving an opportunity to Santiago Media, good friend of the show. Santiago, if you have time, if you want to hop on, give us some insight. But I think I really like what he says. Oscar's ego is too big to deal with Eddie. Eddie Hearn was quoted today as saying he is the top promoter in boxing. In defense of Oscar De La Hoya, he is a Hall of Fame boxer who took on all comers. Eddie Hearn has always been a businessman who became a boxing promoter. And it would chap my hide. It would irritate the shit out of me. It would bruise my ego to have somebody like Eddie Hearn say he's the greatest.
Here's the thing. Here's another question for him. Do you think Fundora or Spence is a fucking more dangerous matchup than Boots Ennis for Vergil Ortiz? Because
I think I have to say Fundora is. I'm sorry, I have to say Fundora is a more dangerous fighter than Boots.
I disagree. You want to know why? Fundora's been knocked out cold.
He has.
His chin is questionable.
But he can cause a lot of damage.
And I'll tell you the truth right now. I think Vergil Ortiz knocks out Fundora. I think Vergil Ortiz knocks out Errol Spence. Errol Spence is washed. Let's look at it this. It's washed. He'd rather put them against them because he's made peace with Al Heyman, because he knows he's going to try and get that piece of that Amazon Prime deal and everything now.
Drew, I agree with you that I think Errol Spence is washed. I've been thinking that for a long time, but he's still relevant. Just the same way Keith Thurman is somehow still relevant. It's unimaginable at this point in their careers, at their point in age. But I just read today that Errol Spence is being considered as a potential opponent for Tim Tszyu's return to the U.S. Tim Tszyu just recently having a win. This is Nikita Tszyu's weekend in Australia against Zarafa. And that they're thinking about a matchup between a one-time champion, both of them former champions in, Errol Spence, and maybe the former 154-pound champion, Tim Tszyu. So he's still kind of relevant. I mean, he's still kind of relevant. It's crazy. Do we move on? Go ahead, Drew.
I look at it like this right now. I think Vergil Ortiz's manager needs to get his client out of that Golden Boy contract, because he is not doing the due diligence to get him the best payday out there. His best payday right now is a Boots Ennis fight. He needs this fight, Vergil.
They should have made the fight happen when Turkey Al-Sheikh was being very generous, because that Turkey Al-Sheikh money is dried up. It's dried up.
Turkey Al-Sheikh was only giving out shit money to them. They would make more money right now than what Turkey Al-Sheikh was going off of them. And I think this really went the right way. They would be fighting in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena in a 50-50 split with this 5% to the winner. It's not a pay-per-view fight. What fight is a pay-per-view fight anymore in boxing nowadays?
Oh, Drew, the numbers that I saw, somebody floated on Twitter, X, that the Subriel Matias fight this weekend, and I'm telling you guys, go watch this. It was a remarkable fight. 17 people paid to watch this. I know that's cap. That's got to be bullshit. People find a way to watch it, but 17 people, I mean, what is a pay-per-view fight? let's transition. Excellent. Okay. An excellent card is now official. I was speaking with Vince. Vince was under the impression it was official, but it was only made official and announced by all parties, including Ryan Garcia. And that is the huge fight. You're talking about who's pay-per-view. Mario Barrios, the WBC welterweight champion, who in 2021 headlined his first pay-per-view against Gervonta Tank Davis. In 2022, and then 2025, that was an amazing Manny Pacquiao performance. And now he finds himself headlining his fourth pay-per-view. I had a chance to meet Mario Barrios once. Shout out to him and Brian Mendoza here in Las Vegas. I met them at the Cosmo. Is he a pay-per-view star? Because I'm excited for this fight. It's coming to Las Vegas. It's at the T-Mobile. It's official in February. But is Mario Barrios a pay-per-view fighter? Is Ryan Garcia? He did have a remarkable performance. The pay-per-view sales with Gervonta Tank Davis were through the roof.
No. And I'm going to explain to you why, Dave.
Why?
Mario Barrios is Space Mountain of 147. He's the easy pickings fight. He got gifted a draw with Manny Pacquiao. And number two, Ryan Garcia did not deserve a title shot after being reinstated, number one, and number two, losing a one-sided fight to a huge underdog in Rolly Romero. And the only reason why he got it because how corrupted the WBC is and how corrupted Mauricio Suamov is, and is bad for boxing. He does not deserve this title shot. He is rewarded this title shot for no reason. Is corrupted, and it's time. And now, Suamov's answer to it is a case-by-case basis. No, this is why boxing is dying. This is why boxing is. It's not dying. Boxing is dead.
It's already dead. Hey,
it's already fucking dead.
So Theo Media wants to know. He says the WBC sanctioned Ryan at welterweight. How does that make sense? Well, you're gonna have to go to the ring. You got to go to the ring and read Keith Idek. Well, here's his explanation right here. And by the way, Ryan was suspended by the WBC, not only because of the PED Osterine incident just 2 years ago, but he was also suspended because of his behavior in Hollywood when he nearly destroyed a luxury hotel room, and he was arrested for that.
Here's my question. You want to know how does that make sense? Because somebody is showing a little bit of extra cash to Suamov's side to make Ryan Garcia the fight. That's why the corruption of the fight.
Well, here's an excerpt. Go ahead, Drew.
And that is why the corruption. That is why we are always going to have a corrupt system in boxing. As long as the WBC is not being called out publicly by everybody, this is what you get.
He's not even, technically he was not even ranked. But here's an excerpt, Keith Idek's opinion in his piece on the Ring magazine. You can read it for you guys yourself. He says, Garcia's marketability is an undeniable important component to promoting his bout with Barrios as a pay-per-view main event. His star status notwithstanding, Garcia's accomplishment in the ring the past 2+ years don't appear to warrant a shot at Barrios' belt in his next fight. He's coming off a pretty massive loss to Rolando Romero, where he was an 11-1 favorite. And that warrants a title shot.
How the hell are you a star? You're a draw when you lost a one-sided fight to a huge underdog.
Because
here's the thing.
Because tickets sell. Tickets sell.
Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying this fucking pay-per-view.
But will they buy the fight at the T-Mobile? Now, I understand that tickets go on sale on the 17th in just 4 days. I believe Friday, they will go on sale. And something very smart that they're doing, Drew, is they're closing off the top section for now. For now, you cannot buy the cheap bleacher seats at the T-Mobile. They are closing that entire section off. And this strategy worked remarkably well last year in Cinco de Mayo weekend when I saw Naaya Inoue at the T-Mobile on Cinco de Mayo weekend. They closed off the top section, and it looked like a sold-out house. It was an electrifying atmosphere. I think they're planning on let's release 12,000 seats, and if the interest is there, then we'll release the nosebleeds at the T-Mobile Arena, which may be a very good strategy considering the fact that Las Vegas ticket sales for boxing events are in the dump.
Well,
Straight up in the dump, Drew. They're not doing good.
This is Ryan Garcia's last fight on Golden Boy's deal.
Yeah, it is.
And that is another reason why I don't think Oscar wants to make the Boots fight. This is his last star. And here's the thing.
He's cashing out.
Oscar is been doing subpar mismatches on his cards for Golden Boy on DAZN lately. Now, technically, he's still under contract with DAZN, so technically he has to have produced fights on there. And everything till his contract's out. Unless DAZN tells him, nah, we don't want you on there, but you can't appear on somebody else's network. And everything. So we look at it like this. I'm hoping he goes. I'm hoping Vergil Ortiz's manager tries to get Vergil out of his contract, because I think Oscar is going to ruin Vergil Ortiz's career, because
he should already be a world champion.
That's the thing. Why wasn't he a world champion? Why did they not make the move? Like, you should have just caved in. And because technically you are a B-side to Xander Zayas now at that point. And all they had to do is not agree to the split. It would have went the post bid. Top Rank would have probably bought it, and you would have been at the mercy of Top Rank, and you would have been fighting in Puerto Rico. And then Max Lazarov names never came up. So that fight never would materialize, And then when Boots finally shows up and says, hey, let's make this fight and everything, manager negotiates and say, yo, 60-40, we're cool with 60-40. And then he's like, can we get more? And they say, hey, 50-50, 5% extra to the winner. We agreed to that. Just has to be in Vegas or Florida, a neutral site. We'll be cool with that. Manager was cool with it. Oscar did. Oscar stepped in again. So that tells you.
Here's my concern. And shout out to 702 Man Cave. He says Oscar's trying to sign my nephew and me, Emiliano Vargas, a rising star in boxing, signed with Top Rank. In the past few years, arguably the top two people on a Golden Boys roster have yet to become world champions. Ryan Garcia, we talked about his marketability. They mentioned it in the Ring Magazine article, which is a primary reason why he's getting another pay-per-view, is because he is marketable. Ryan Garcia should already have been a world champion. And Vergil Ortiz should already have been a world champion. And those have to be his top talents on his roster. So when you consider signing with Oscar, you got to look at his recent track record. Aside from Canelo Alvarez, which he groomed into a super megastar, how has he done lately? If winning titles and winning championships and putting yourself in the history books doesn't matter, then maybe you go with Oscar. Or maybe Oscar will redeem himself and bring Ryan Garcia this championship, welterweight championship, in February. And maybe he will make Vergil Ortiz a champion. I think the verdict is still out there. And I wouldn't have a final opinion on that until the end of this calendar year in 2026. It's entirely possible Ryan Garcia wins this fight against Mario Barrios, who's coming off 2 straight draws. It's entirely possible, Drew, like you said, that Sebastian Fundora could get knocked out by Vergil Ortiz. It's entirely possible that maybe Oscar De La Hoya can do the same magic he did with Canelo Alvarez and turn Emiliano Vargas into an international boxing superstar. But I will not come to a conclusion on that. Drew, this is fake. This is a shout out to Mo Boxing, Mo Problem on YouTube and on Twitter, on X. They think this is a prospective super card. Frank Sanchez versus Richard Torres of Top Rank. They're being ordered to fight. Frank Sanchez, a PBC fighter. Maybe they can make it happen. It's yet to be signed. Also, Armando Resendez is now no longer being forced to be as the new super middleweight champion. He's in negotiations with Jaime Munguia. They think that either this is going to be a fight on its own, a headline card potentially in Arizona, or it's going to end up on this card, or perhaps on the Cinco de Mayo card, which features David Benavidez. This is a stellar card if this was going to be the card, but it's not. It's not. It's just a mock card. I don't know. How do you guys like it? Let me know either in the comments or in the chat. Wanted to bring this up. Speaking of welterweight stars, it didn't end. The year didn't end very good for Brian Norman Jr. I thought he had one of the most sensational knockouts of 2025. He did win that championship. He was not able to successfully defend it against Devin Haney, the dream of Las Vegas. And there's some really sad news, Drew. But, you know, father-sons, teams, combinations, you've had them in Philly. Angel Garcia, Danny Garcia. Great father-son combinations. I don't know, you know, his dad has been an integral part of his life, but Brian Norman and his dad have respectfully split ways. Oh, man. You got, speaking of father-sons, you got Boots Ennis and Bozy. What are your thoughts on him saying, I got to part ways with my dad here?
I think it's a smart decision because I think his dad has talked him into a lot of wrong things. And I think, like, at some points, I thought his dad should have shut up. See, don't try to overshine your son. And that's what I thought he did at times, was try to overshine his son. And I really think that if we look at it, he has to learn a lot. He's young. It's the best thing for him to do is get a trainer to show him stuff. To become a better defensive fighter is number one. Because I thought Brian Norman, I think the weakness was going to be his defense. He does not need to bang all the time. He has to be smarter. And I think if you put him with someone that's a good defensive trainer, he's going to be a lot better in the long run. It's just your dads can normally limit your son, limit the ability to train you. Because they may have just picked it up just to be, just to spend time with you and everything and learn on the job. And that makes them limited. That makes you limited. Like Kelvin Broof, I think his name is. He was a heavyweight prospect. He was a heavyweight contender during the Klitschko era. He was the boxing banker. His dad was training him. And when he fought Klitschko, it showed the inexperience his dad had as a trainer and the inexperience he had as a fighter. So it may get to that point that, hey, you can rebound from it. He was too old to rebound from it.
Well, Drew, I got some good news. It's official on January 24th. I will be in attendance at the Murataya versus Cruz for the IBF World Lightweight title. This is the first mega boxing event to kick off in Las Vegas, January 24th. Shout out to Fonzie. He's usually here in the chat, but he's not here today. He will be going with us. And if you're going, let me know. Shout out to Sonteo Media. He usually goes. I would love to see you there if you can travel to see Raymond Murataya and Robert Garcia take on Andy Cruz and defend his IBF World Lightweight title. It should be a very entertaining night. I'm excited about that. If you enjoy this content, guys, and you're new, consider subscribing, but definitely hit that like at the very least because it helps grow our channel. But definitely consider subscribing too as well, Drew. I wanted to bring this up before I get to our last topic, and it'll be a really quick topic, Drew. Looks like Baltimore, was it the Raven? I read the Baltimore Ravens. Was it the Ravens or Baltimore? They've already made a bobblehead for Tupac, but the Oakland Athletics have ambitions to have a Tupac Shakur bobblehead on opening weekend at the brand new Las Vegas Athletics Stadium. I've committed. I am going to go to opening day one way or another. I'm going to find a way to go to opening day to see this experience on opening day. I just got to be a part of it. I'm from the Bay Area. What are your thoughts on this, Drew? Should you be able to do a bobblehead if another team has already claimed it?
I don't know. Probably you should be able to and everything, but I look at it like this. They got to do something to pitch the A's are in Vegas now. And I look at it as in you got to prepare this city for a long rebuild, one way or another.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Grayson in the chat. He says, go Buffalo Bills. I'm actually rooting for your team. Yeah, let's go Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia. This weekend, of course, your quarterback, Josh Allen, is a California boy. But speaking of Tupac again, Tupac, Drew, I mean, he didn't live in Oakland. He blew up and became famous because of Oakland and Digital Underground, his connections with Digital Underground, his work with them. They produced his first album. He has deep ties to Oakland. He is from Baltimore originally, but he also passed away. He was unalive famously after a Mike Tyson fight. So he has strong ties to Las Vegas historically and in his life as an Oakland, California guy, you know, in the rap game. So I hope to see this bobblehead. Speaking of the Oakland Athletics, I'm just going to say this. If you guys didn't hear, this is batshit crazy, bro. Apparently, the owner of the Oakland Athletics, who has ties to the Gap family, the famous Gap clothing company, he did not trademark the name Las Vegas Athletics. And somebody who is kind of an enemy of his or somebody who dislikes him was able to trademark the name Las Vegas Athletics with the government and beat him to it, which means he will now be having to sue this guy or outright settle in court to buy the name the Las Vegas Athletics. So, yeah, you think a genius who can afford a baseball team would have somebody on his side tell him, we should probably take care of that and trademark the name. Somebody bought the name and trademarked
You can always change the name of the team
to
and bring back the March.
That's what I was thinking.
The Las Vegas Expos.
Las Vegas Expos.
Hey, Montreal Expos are coming back, but they're coming back to Vegas. Las Vegas Expos.
Well, you know, they could just be called the Las Vegas A's. They don't have to be, but the Athletics is taken. So you snooze, you lose. All right, last thing of the item. There is some boxing this weekend. I mentioned Nikita Zhu, Australian fighters fighting Zarafa. If you're into that, it's going to be a day. I have no idea what Australian time is funny. But more importantly, we have Oscar De La Hoya's first event, Golden Boy Boxing, and it's a rematch of a fight that could have easily have been a contender type fight for fight of the year between two Mexicans, a Chicano and a Mexican Olympian, two fighters on his roster. It's the rematch, Drew. I'm not sure if you remember watching Curiel versus Rocha, but the very first one officially ended in a draw, 114 to 114, and one judge having it 116, 112 in favor of, it's too small to see. Nonetheless, on the scorecard, a draw, and they're going to run it back this Saturday night. Curiel versus Rocha. Rocha, to me, at one point, he was at the top of the game of the welterweight division when it was actually still pretty good. Now it's got a whole bunch of new guys. Both of these guys need to come out victorious to advance their careers in the welterweight division. I think they'd give any fighter in that division, including Raleigh Romero, Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios, they'd give them a effing great fight. Both of them would. But here they find themselves being forced to fight each other again because opportunities may not present themselves. Who do you got? I'll tell you what DraftKings has.
I'm probably gonna go with Rocha.
Yeah, big shout out to salute to Pat Connors. He says, "Go Bears." I'm actually rooting for the Bears, and if you go back and listen earlier, Pat, I think the 49ers are going to prevail. I think they're going to play upset, and I think the Bears are going to upset the Rams. I said it. Matthew Stafford does not look good in cold weather. His statistics in rain or cold weather are absolutely horrible, and he has not won many games in Chicago at all. So I think that's all going to play a factor this weekend. So, Drew, you pick Rocha?
Yeah.
He's a plus 100 favorite. I have not liked what I've seen recently of Raul Curiel. For somebody who was an Olympian, I feel like he's taking a few steps back when I think he should have already at his age advanced to being a world title challenger. And I like what I've seen out of Alexis Rocha. I'm picking Alexis Rocha as well this weekend. Saturday night, Golden Boy. They got to put on a good show, Drew. Like I said, man, they don't have a television deal. Oh, well, they have one with DAZN, but it hasn't been renewed, and things can go south if they can't deliver this mega fight. They need to deliver. But as of now, I guess it's going to be on DAZN if you want to watch that. We will be back on the air tomorrow if you got time, Drew. We got a daytime show, but I have not figured out how to do the interview thing. Isn't working right now, so I won't have any guests tomorrow. But if you guys want to watch, tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time from Las Vegas at Man Cave Studios in Las Vegas. We're going to be doing another sports show tomorrow. That one is called Slugged Out Sports on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Any final thoughts, Drew, on NFC divisional round? The Eagles rebuilding next year?
No.
That's a wrap, guys. Dave in the 7-2 Philly Irish Drew Evo. We will see you next week. Until then, peace out.